Hi, I'm Philip McClarty. Welcome back to Music Appreciation Online. Today we're going to be talking about music notation. Music notation is simply our way of communicating musical ideas one with another. A composer gets an idea in his mind, he writes it down on a piece of paper, he sends it to you, and just by looking at it you're able to play or read those ideas musically that he has conveyed to you. Think of music notation as simply another language. And like any other language, it has its own terms and symbols, and it's probably going to take you a little while to catch on and to learn to speak and read that language. But you can do it if you try. We begin with the first symbol, and that is this 5 lines and 4 spaces symbol, which is called a staff. It doesn't mean anything, though, until we give it a clef sign, which defines what these lines and spaces mean in correspondence with the notes of the scale or the piano. So this is a treble clef, and now we know that in a treble clef the lowest line is E, E, G, B, D, and F. Some people like to say every good bird does fly. And others, the spaces go with F, A, C, and E, or the name face. Another way to do that is to take the second space, which is A, and simply go up alphabetically. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you could go on from there. Or down A, G, F, E, D, and let's add a line and make a C right here. This C corresponds to middle C on the piano. So if we find middle C on the piano, we know that in the treble clef, the notes correspond pretty much to the notes to the right of middle C, and so forth. Now let's go back and define these 5 lines and 4 spaces according to the bass clef. Here's the bass clef sign, and all of a sudden these same lines and spaces correspond to different notes of the scale. The lowest line is G, so we have G, B, D, F, and A. Great big dogs fight always. Or the spaces, which are A, C, E, and G. All cows eat grass. You can make up your own acronyms if you like. And again, if you start with the note A, which is in the bass clef on the bottom space, you can go up alphabetically, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We don't have an H, we go back to A, and then above that B, and above that C. This C in the bass clef corresponds to the very same C in the treble clef. So going back to the piano and finding middle C, we know that the bass clef corresponds pretty much to the notes from middle C down. Now we have the treble clef and the bass clef. We're able to know what the notes are on each one. Now let's go to rhythm. You found in chapter 3 that in music, most music falls in patterns of 2, 3, 4, and so forth. So you have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you can always find the number of beats per measure by where the emphasis is. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's put 3, 4 time on our staff for convenience, and know that the upper number, which in this case is 3, always refers to the number of beats per measure. And the bottom number always refers to the kind of note that receives 1 beat. So in 3, 4 time, 3 beats per measure, a quarter note, 1/4 note, equals 1 beat. Given that, then every measure can have any combination of note values as long as the sum of those note values equals 3. In 3, 4 time, you could have 3 quarter notes. You could have a half note, which receives 2 beats, 2 quarter notes, plus a quarter note. You could have 6 eighth notes, or watch this now, you could have a quarter note followed by a dot, and you learn from chapter 3 that the dot gives that note half again its original value. What is the original value of a quarter note? 1. What's the dot worth? Half of that, which is a half. So the dotted quarter note equals 1 1/2. Let's follow the dotted quarter note with an eighth note and then a quarter, and we have 1 1/2. A half again is 2, and then 3. There's our 3 beats. And then let's finish with a dotted half note. The half note gets 2 beats. The dot gives it half again that much, which is 1. 2 plus 1 equals 3. It's sort of a matter of mathematics, counting to a sum of 3. Now, knowing that, simple enough, with the notes of the staff, we can write our first melody. Are you ready? Let's give it a clef sign. So we define the lines and the spaces. We're going to give it treble clef. We're going to make it in 3/4 time. And we're going to make it a song that you've all heard and you know. Begin on C with a quarter note. And another quarter and another. There's our 3 beats. And it goes la, la, la. Where am I going with this? It's my country 'tis of thee. My country 'tis. Here's our dotted quarter note. Dum, da, dum. 1 1/2 plus a half is 2. 3. My country 'tis of thee. Sweet land of another dotted quarter note, liberty, and then of thee I sing, and the sing is going to be a dotted half note. All 3 beats of that measure. Then we go back to the last phrase. Go up to, it's a terrible treble clef sign. Go up to a G. Land of my father's pride. There's our dotted quarter note. Land of the pilgrim's pride. From, now watch, every E, 2 and 3 and 4 eighth notes right in a row. Da, dum, dum, time together with a little bar. Dum, bum. Then back up to E, dotted quarter note. Da, da, dum. And then let's put the last ones down here. And we've got la, dum, and 2 bars at the very end. So we've written My Country 'Tis of Thee. You could do it yourself. My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land of the land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. Now, as I said at the very beginning, music notation is like a whole different language. And it takes a little while to learn to read and to write. But you can do it if you try. And before long, you can make up your own little tune, write it down on music staff paper, send it to a friend, and he or she will be able to look at that, play or sing your melody. Good luck. I'll see you next time.